So, I've been having an affair. I'm not proud of it. I feel a little bit dirty, but I think I've got to admit it to someone that I've been a dirty bitch. I've been sleeping with the quad Cortex.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Yo guys and dolls, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, if you're old school, you know what we're about by now. It's been a while, I've been away for a while, touring and stuff, but I'm back, hopefully back. It might be a little bit inconsistent because I've got an absolutely beautiful 9-month-old baby and she's taken up all my time, and rightly so because she's brilliant. But today what I wanted to talk about is been my 6-month experience with this little unit. So about 6 months ago, I embarked on a bit of a kind of project. Well, a few little projects actually, but one of the projects was a Rammstein tribute act, of which we were doing a load of gigs, and I needed a lot of tones really quickly to the best quality, and I ended up kind of finding, this is a stupid thing to say, but my helix rig was just getting too big. Can you imagine someone saying that after carrying 4 4x12s and 3 heads around for the last 20 years? Anyway, this showed up and I thought, right, okay, well, this is a pocket-sized helix, supposedly a little bit better, and I thought, right, well, I'll put it to the test, and I've never looked back. That's not to say that the helix is bad. It isn't at all. Any stretch of the imagination, it's an amazing unit. It's just very big. This is the size of, in fact, it's smaller than a 15-inch laptop. So this is the unit. If you don't know about this thing, you need to know about this thing. If you do know about this thing, then you already know about this thing. And I'm waxing lyrical for no apparent reason. It is incredible. So, one of the other great things about this now, as in since I've picked one up, the great thing is now we've got plug-in compatibility. So, I've always been a fan of Neural DSP plugins. They're just the best. They just feel great. I also like the Nambrini stuff as well, but Neurals just seem to get it right. Very intuitive, very pretty. They just do what they need to do. And the Soldano has been a particular favourite of mine. I also love the Pliny, and I love the Nameless Fortin suite. They've now all become plug-in available on the Quad Cortex, so it was a no-brainer really when that started to come down the pipe to look at picking one of these bad boys up. So this is my 6-month review of owning, touring, recording, and basically just falling in love, like genuine love with this product. I don't know what it is about it. It's like an iPhone, right? I've been an Android for so long, but you get an iPhone or an Apple product and you just love them. There's just something to love about them. It's crazy. The Quad Cortex does exactly the same. It makes me want to love it and look after it and care for it, and it's just so good. So what we're going to do, we're just going to have a little run through some of the things that I absolutely love about it. And there's nothing really that I don't. It does everything. It really does everything. So this is not going to be my top 5 bullshit videos. All it is this is my experience of the Quad Cortex. And that's it, really. So let's do that. So the first thing I absolutely love about this unit is the size. Like, look at the son of a bitch. It is, well, I drink massive brews, but it's the size of it's about 2 brews. Let me just have a sip of this brew. Hell yeah. the Tasty Brew. So it's small. I'm trying to hold it up against something. Right, okay, if you guys know what these are, it's kind of two Synergy preamps. This is an iPhone Pro Max. It's maybe 3 Pro Maxes. Look, it doesn't matter. It's the size of a genuine wizard's beard. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Kind of confidently heavy. All the dials are nice and weighted. All of the buttons are like ratcheted. You can't really. Can you hear that? Great, absolutely awesome. I'm still sick as shit. Right, okay, so that's the first thing I love about this thing. It is just the size of it and the feel of it and the quality. It just feels like an Apple product. Okay, so the next thing I love about this product continues to be the I/O. The I/O on the Helix, and now obviously the Tone Master Fender and stuff, and always the Fractal stuff. But for me personally, it was always the Helix was the gold standard. It was like everything I need to do, because I run hybrid rig, so I run 2 Laney IRT heads, 2 412s. Then I run digital FRFR left and right into 2 Laney FRFR 112s. And then front of house. So there's just an absolute fucking cacophony of sounds. And all of them need to be switched with one switch, so everything changes at the same time. All my effects and delays and everything. All my effects and delays and effects. All my effects and stuff. Patches, presets, changes. This does exactly that as well. It's got exactly the same IOs. So as I mentioned before, it's got balanced ins with XLR. We've got all of the effects returns and outputs we need. The 3 and 4 left and right 1/4 inch are a different output to the XLRs. So you can send them out to your amps. You can send these out to front of house. These out to front of house, these to your amps. Do whatever you want to do. Absolutely brilliant. Full MIDI in and out and through, and then you've got 2 expression pedals. Brilliant. Right, so that's the second thing I love about this shit, the IOs. Right, you can't talk about a product like this without just then instantly talking about the sound quality of it all, or the functionality. So let me spark it up and I'll just talk through a signal chain for you. Okay, so, see, just pretty. She's just a pretty girl. So here we have just one of my presets. So ins, I can select any input from any of the I/O, or I can choose to put it not in use. And I have now a complete path of effects and shit. Number 2, exactly the same. I have guitar input 1, so both of my guitar input 1 feeds both of these tracks. This one is going through the Fortin Nameless, and this one is going through the Soldano X. But look at that, it is absolutely chocker full of gear, and it's sweet. If I come up to these 3 little dots, I can go down and I can actually see what my CPU is doing. It's 70%. You can actually see what is being tonked, what's using the most DSP. It's just brilliant. Like, that in itself is just a great little feature. Okay, so that's awesome. What I can do then is if I swipe up, I then get like a gig view. So I can just turn individual effects on and off by using the touchscreen, which again is great. Or I can come down and I can just hit a foot switch if I need to. Brilliant. Okay, so that again is really, really good. I can change that into preset mode. If I scroll up now in preset mode, I have whatever preset that I've got in that block, of which there's 1 million. And then the next one is scene mode. So if I scroll up again, I can have 8 different scenes that will change 1 million different things. So it's basically just like an inbuilt MIDI board for whatever you've got running in your system. It is brilliant and it's super intuitive. It's very Helixy, if dare I say. dare I say, helixy. Okay, so what I've got currently in this preset is a noise gate. It's a plug-in gate. I don't actually need this because I'm not using it, so I could get rid of this if I wanted to. And then that is off. I have a transpose, which is bringing everything down to semitone. So this is just an E-flat kind of new metal type thing. If I wanted to, however, though, I could get rid of that. The other great thing I can do in stomp box mode, I can assign both of these to 1 foot switch. So now when I turn that off, it turns off both of the transpose for both of the signal paths, which is great. So one button does it all. Or I could individually turn them off, but that'd sound crazy. Then we've got individual, so I've basically used the Zool, which comes with the Fortin plug-in pack. You don't get this natively, so that'll be an additional cost, but it's the best. And then we've got drives. You can see that what these little encoders do is they will turn the actual knob up, or I can grab it and I can kind of give it a bit of a buff. Either way, whether I take the knob and I turn it, or I get the knob and I give it a little bit of a tweak, it still does exactly what it needs to do. Job done, dead easy, super intuitive, works like an amp or a pedal. Then when we come to the amps, exactly the same thing. It's just super intuitive. Every dial coincides with one of these things. So this one would be gain 2, because that's where it lives. Now sometimes that doesn't coincide, which can be a bit confusing, but we'll have a little look at that in a sec. So that's that. If I go into, say, the so that's still got a load of knobs. Let's go into the delay. Okay, so what we've got now is the delay doesn't have these, let me just turn that on so you can see that brighter. It doesn't have another 2 knobs, so it doesn't have knobs. So this one would be the trails. This one would be the delay time. This one would be the sync note. It just looks like that. Okay, so let's just turn that off again. Now, if I press and hold this, we get this little scene icon. I don't know whether you can see that. Let me just zoom in. So see the way it's now got a little 2 dots, or 4 dots even. So what that means is now, whenever I select scene A, that will go off, or it'll come on. Simple as that. If I press and hold again, I unassign that situation. Fucking dead easy. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's just so quick. And that functions for both of those presets, or for both of those signal paths. Then I can either go full stereo left and right for each of these, or I can go multi-out. I can go output 1 and 2, output 3 and 4, send 1 and 2. I can send them mono. I can do whatever I want. It's just unbelievable. I can send them to different rows so that I can mix the DSP up. It literally is just the easiest thing in the world to do. So what I'll do now is I will just build a preset super quick so you guys can see how easy this is. Obviously, it might sound like shit. I'm just going to throw one together super quick. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up on presets. I'm going to go to unsaved. Now I'm in an unsaved thing. I'm going to go into that because I want a Zool. So I'm going to go, there you go, Zool, right, and then I want, what amp do I want? Let's see what new amp we've got in 3.1.0. I'm assuming it is the Fender US, whatever it's called. Let's just see, it'll be down here somewhere. We've got tons of amps. There it is. So we've got the US DLX64 Vintage. That's the gig. Let's go for the reissue one. There it is. Let's go into the cabs. Oh, I don't know, so many. Right, let's go for this tweed. Okay, so we've got a 112 tweed. Right, okay, and then from there, I want a reverb. In my left hand, reverb, best one I like, lush plate. Then let's go for a delay. Let's go for analog delay, so we're going for that retro vibe. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that and I'm going to pull it down. Then I'm going to hold on the line and I'm going to move the split to before the reverb. And now we're going to put that in line because I'm a stickler for that type of thing. That now is a parallel effects loop. I've got reverb running clean and I've got delay running clean. Not me reverb isn't running into me delay. It's that easy, okay? But I want a bit of chorus, so I'm going to add a modulation. Let's see what new modulations we've got. We've got a harmonic tremolo. Do you know what? Let's go. Let's just put it in there, but I don't want it to live there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it. I'm just going to drag it to there. Easy as that. That's done now as well. It's fucked with my feng shui, so let's just throw that back in there. Okay, what else would I want? I don't know. Let's go with like a sub octave. Let's go for a pitch, and we're gonna go for the octave, which is now gonna live in front there, and that is now my Boss octave pedal. Brilliant. Okay, so I don't know what that sounds like, but it sounds cool, I'm sure. Now what I want to do is I'm thinking, right, well, I want well more stuff, so we're going to go to multi-out. That I agree, my watch. And instead of multiple outputs, I'm going to send to row 3, and I'm going to make this my multiple output. Now I've got a whole new bunch of stuff. So let's just go in there. Let's throw in a EQ, parametric 9. Let's throw in another pitch shifter. We'll go for a subsonic synth. Let's go for another reverb. We'll go for a nice shimmer. This is going to sound mad. I might have to play this in the video. Right, and then we're going to go for another delay, and we'll go for a dual delay, etc., etc. And again, if I pull that out, I can drag that down to there. If I want to maintain the split from here, all I need to do is drag the line, make that another thing, and I want to send that to row 4. Then I hold this line, that, and I move it like that. So now I've got a complete split that runs into these two previous things. If I want to then pan this hard left and hard right, click and hold pan left, click and hold, pan, right. I've now got an absolutely mental stereo rig that is absolutely tremendous. If I wanted that to be wet dry, I could take this, make that an input 1 again. Input 1 would feed into a stereo this, but this would be a dry signal that just run directly out. So I could have left, right really affected, and I could have a central middle mono. Dead easy. Absolutely dead easy. I'm not going to play through this because it will sound like dicks. So there you go, and then you just save it if you want, name it what you want, jobs are good, and that's done. And that is now saved where it needs to be. If I wanted to start putting stomps in, so say I wanted this guy on a stomp, there's a little foot and a question mark. I click on that, I press the button I want it to be on. Now, there it is. It's where I wanted it to be. Dead bloody easy. If I want to call that, I don't know, Yamaha, then I can totally call that Yamaha. Done. And that will be called Yamaha for that particular preset. But I don't want to call it Yamaha. because Yamaha is not harmonic tremolo. What else I could do is if I set up another pedal, say, so let's set up that delay as A. What I can do now is I could also add this delay, press this, and press A again. Now what I've got is the light goes white, and I'm taking both of those delays and I've put them on one preset. Now what I could also do now is I can name that delays or yada. Also what we've got now is momentary and latching. So if I put momentary, what will happen is when I hold it, it will only stay off while I've got hold of it. If I hold it like that. So what you'd want to do is if you want this to be on when you press it, then obviously you'd save it in this state while it's, so if you put it back to latching, turn it off, edit again, go back into momentary, save it, and now when I hold it, it stays on. And that will engage that one effect for whenever I've got my toggle on. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That wasn't available to us before 3.1. 3.1.0. Okay, so that is that. That's how you set up a preset. You could set up all of those to be individuals, or what we could do is we can set up a scene. So scene A currently has all of those things on. Sorry, to make it like kind of scene affected, is if I go into the effect, click and hold, and I want that off for A, but I want it on for B. Okay, so I want it on for A, and I want it off for B. Okay, so now when I go to A, it comes on. When I go to B, it goes off. I can do that with anything. I could actually even do it with amp controls. So if I want to raise the, I want to raise the bass, I get my little 4 dosimetrons, and for B, I want to boost that bass to 6.8. So now in A, it's a 4. In B, it's a 6.8. So now A, 4, B, 6.8. That easy. It's just fucking ridiculous. And that's how that works. It's just genius. It's absolutely genius. Right, okay, so that is how you set up a patch on the Quad Cortex. If you're looking for other things, so let's go to B again. If we were looking for neural captures or your personal neural captures or captures, go into neural captures, you can go into my captures, and then you've got all of your personal captures. My rev is particularly sexy. So I've got all of these of my personal stuff. So my Laneys, my Soldanos from the Synergy stuff, everything I own is all in there. So if I want to grab my mini rectifier clean or my mini rectifier boost, I'll grab that, and there it is. That is now all in, and then I just put all of the effects around it. If I wanted to add a neural capture of a pedal, say, I go into this little thing and I take off amps, I take off amp and cabs, and I take off default, and I just want pedals. Now, all is in there is my pedals. Really, really easy to look at. So cool as you like. So that is kind of what I love most about the Quad Cortex. It's really, really easy to use. It's super intuitive. It's all on. Oh, another thing I love is the fact that it's always on Wi-Fi. So I can just basically update this from anywhere. I don't have to hook it up to a computer. Which is brilliant, isn't it? You know, that is the way we want it to be. Really, really easy. Also, what you may have noticed is that I've got these things stuck to the back of it. Okay, so what are these? These are my Temple Audio quick release plates. So what this lives basically on a 34-inch big board, like floorboard, but I've also got an 18-inch floorboard. And what I basically do is I just take it off the 34-inch, put it on the 18-inch, and I've got a smaller rig. That's how that works. So yes, that they're not part of the product at all. What else do I love about it? There's so many things to love about it. It sounds amazing. So what we'll do is we'll look at the sounds in another video. This was just my 6-month review. Would I, if I had to, spend £1,500, £1,300, £1,400 on one? Yes. A perfect review of something is that if it broke, would I buy another one? Yes, I would, without a doubt. Today, I would buy another one today. Instantly. I can't live without this product anymore. It's just so bloody good. The amp tones, which we'll compare. So obviously I love Tonex as well. Helix. I also love amps. If I could carry all of the amps all of the time, then I would. If you guys are looking at this type of video, you're ready for the move. You're ready to move into digital. I think digital is just easy. It's just easy. Everything is easy. Reamping is easy. Cancelling hum is easy. Stereo rigs are easy. Routing is easy. Everything is easier. Do they sound like a tube amp? I'd say yeah now. Yeah, they do. If I crank up the quad Cortex through my Laney FRFRs, I can't really hear the difference now between a 60 watt amp head and the capture I've got of my 60 watt amp head. It sounds exactly the same. It's within, obviously if you're around some diagnostic protocols, it most probably is different, but I can't bloody hear it. It sounds fucking immense. It sounds massive, and it's the size of a MacBook, a 13-inch MacBook, not even a 13-inch MacBook. It's the size of a packet of sandwiches, man. It's sounding good. Awesome. Okay, so that's basically, that's my 6-month review. I would definitely buy one again. I'm made up that I managed to acquire one. I love the guys over at Neural. They're a great bunch of lads. And they seem to be doing it right. Is it worth the money? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Especially when you've got Fractal charging $3,000 for their stuff. Helix and Line 6 have come down to about 1,000 now. If I only had 1,000, would I save the extra 400 quid? Yes. If I had 350 to 400, would I save an extra grand? No. I'd get a Tonex. But we'll do a comparison in later videos. So this is just my kind of 6-month review. I'm waffling now. Of what I've really loved about this product, and it's everything. I love the sound, I love the I/O, I love the input device, I love the fact that I don't need to load it into an editing suite. I can literally do everything on the screen. It's so easy to do as well. I can develop a sound in 5 minutes, and it's just gonna sound great. And then the next video on this, I'm going to play through 5 of my favourite presets, and also a demo of the Nameless Fortin suite and the Soldano X. So they're going to be separate videos as well. We're going to do quite a bit on the Quad Cortex because I fucking love it. Excellent. Alright guys, hope you found this informative and informal. And I will see you in the next one for some more chat about gear. And I'll see you soon. Take it easy, man. Have fun.